Chapter 4. Hello Fun Crafts. Annabelle stared at her uncle. "You are?" she said at last.
"Yes."
"But why?"
"I just am."
"Me too," said Bobby. Mama put her hand over her heart.
"I insist on only one thing," said Uncle Doll. "That we go tomorrow night. It's too late to leave now. The Palmers will be up soon. We must leave when we have plenty of time to get down the stool, and more important, to get back up the stool when we return."
And so it was settled. Mama, Papa, and Nanny were very frightened, but Uncle Doll had a private chat with them. Annabelle couldn't hear what he said to them, but when the chat was over, they agreed, unhappily, that Annabelle and Bobby could go with Uncle Doll. Annabelle was jubilant, but how was she ever going to manage to wait during the whole long next day until the Palmers went to bed again? She did manage, of course, even though she was sure it was the most boring day of her entire life. The only vaguely interesting thing that happened was that just after lunchtime, a delivery truck pulled into the Palmers' driveway. The doorbell rang, and through Kate's open window, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine say to the delivery person, "Just in time! Her birthday is almost here. I have to hide this before she sees it." A moment later, the front door closed. Not long after that, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine come puffing up the stairs, heard a thud, the sound of another door opening, of something being slid along the floor, and of the door then being closed. I bet Grandma Catherine just hid Nora's birthday present, Annabelle thought, and she spent quite a bit of the rest of the day wondering what the present could be. By the time Kate went to bed that night, Annabelle had stopped thinking about the present. All she wanted was for Kate and the rest of the Palmers to fall asleep, and for deepest night to descend. When it did, Annabelle ran to the front of the dollhouse and looked across Kate's room. She could just make out the captain at the foot of Kate's bed. "I think he's asleep," Annabelle whispered to Uncle Doll.
"I hope so,"
Uncle Doll replied nervously. "Are you ready?" Annabelle asked Bobby and her uncle. They nodded. "Well then, this is goodbye," said Annabelle to the rest of her family.
"Only for a few hours,"
said Bobby. But Mama and Papa and Nanny looked as though they might never see the explorers again.
"We'll be back by 4:30,
promised Uncle Doll. Mama swallowed hard. Nanny turned away.
"Righto,"
said Papa. Annabelle jumped from the parlor down to the stool. At the edge of the top step, she knelt, turned, and slid backward onto the next step, landing with a small thump. Bobby and Uncle Doll followed her. A few minutes later, they were all sprawled in a heap on the floor. Bobby glanced at Kate's bed.
"Is she still asleep?"
he asked. I think so," whispered Annabelle.
"Is the captain still asleep?"
asked Uncle Doll. "I hope so," said Annabelle. "Let's go." Uncle Doll hesitated. "Oh, please don't change your mind. Think of Auntie Sarah. She needs us," whispered Annabelle. Uncle Doll straightened himself.
"Let's hurry then,"
he said. Annabelle led the way through the darkness across Kate's room. They stopped at the doorway into the hall. Annabelle peered cautiously around it. "I don't see anything," she said. She stepped back into the hall. It was very long and very dark.
"Did the captain see us?"
asked Uncle Doll. "I don't think so."
"Then let's start looking. Remember, we can't call for Auntie Sarah," said Uncle Doll. "Someone might hear us. All we can do is search."
Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll peered into the other rooms. They scooted under dressers and beds and armchairs. They peeked into closets and investigated shoes and slippers. "If I were Auntie Sarah, I wonder where I would be," said Bobby after a while. "She must be up high. If she were down low, the humans would have found her long ago." "Unless she's really hidden," said Annabelle. "Inside something, in a box or a trunk, or in a box in a trunk in a closet."
"I'm going to call for her anyway,"
said Bobby. Uncle Doll grabbed his arm. "I won't call loudly," said Bobby. "I'll just call like this. Auntie Sarah." "See? That's not so loud." "I'll call too," said Annabelle. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll were standing against a wall in a room with a couch and 2 chairs, but no bed. "Whose room is this?" whispered Annabelle.
"I don't think it's a bedroom," replied Uncle Doll. "It looks like a sitting room."
"Good. We can be a little more loudly in here," said Bobby. "Auntie Sarah!" Annabelle and Bobby called. Auntie Sarah! Auntie Sarah! Hey, said Annabelle, did you hear something?
Yes, it sounded like a voice, exclaimed Uncle Doll. Listen.
After a moment, Annabelle heard a voice again. Help! It called, help! Help! And then, help! Cried another voice. Help us! Uncle Doll, said Bobby, does that sound like Auntie Sarah to you? Uncle Doll shook his head. If it's Auntie Sarah, she's with someone else, added Annabelle. She raised her voice slightly. Auntie Sarah, is that you? Where are you? We're over in this box, one of the voices replied. I think we're in a closet, another voice added. But there's no one here named Auntie Sarah. Annabelle spotted a closet door slightly ajar. Come on, she said to Bobby and Uncle Doll. Together, they managed to swing the door open. By the moonlight streaming through a window, Annabelle could just make out a large cardboard carton with some letters and words printed on the sides. Hello, said Annabelle. Hello, replied a voice from inside the box. Who are you? Asked Annabelle. We are the Funcrafts. I'm Mom Funcraft.
I'm Dad Funcraft,
said the second voice. I'm Tiffany Funcraft. I'm the big sister.
I'm Bailey Funcraft, the brother,
said a younger sounding voice. Baby Brittany is here too, said Mom Funcraft's voice, but she's asleep. And anyway, she can't talk yet, added Tiffany.
Who are you? Asked Dad Funcraft. And who's Auntie Sarah?
I'm Annabelle Doll, said Annabelle, and this is my brother Bobby and my uncle. Auntie Sarah is my aunt, Uncle Doll's wife. She's been missing for decades. We thought we would look for her tonight. Annabelle's voice trailed off. She was trying to read the words on the side of the box. Funcraft Doll and Dream House Set Model 110. Includes plastic dream house, doll family, all furniture, and snap-on clothes and parts pictured on front. Not recommended for children under 3. Bobby! Uncle Doll! Said Annabelle in a loud whisper. Another doll family is inside that box.
I wonder which doll maker made them and how long it took them to travel across the ocean, said Bobby.
I don't know, but let's see what's pictured on front, said Annabelle. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll scurried around to the other side of the carton. To Annabelle's dismay, she discovered that the front was the side that had been placed on the floor. Rats, she exclaimed. I wanted to see what they look like. Hello, are you still out there? Called a voice. It sounded like Mom Funcraft's. Yes, we're here, said Annabelle. She paused, then she called, Did you come from England? How was your trip? England, repeated Mom Funcraft. Is that a factory? That's where we came from. A factory in Cleveland.
It was called Marwin Inc., Dad Funcraft volunteered. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Marwin Inc. factory in Cleveland?
No. Where's Cleveland?
Asked Uncle Doll.
It's, well,
said Dad Funcraft. Never mind, said Annabelle. You know what? Our families are just the same. We each have a mother and a father, a big sister, a little brother, and a baby sister.
I am not a little brother, said Bobby.
Neither am I, said Bailey from inside the box. Plus, Bobby went on indignantly, we have an uncle, an auntie, and a nanny. We have a cat, said Tiffany. Her name is Kitty, Kitty Funcraft. A cat, exclaimed Annabelle. Is she alive? Of course not, said Tiffany. She's a toy animal. Annabelle breathed a sigh of relief. She wondered if Tiffany looked like her. Annabelle decided she did. All dollhouse dolls must look pretty much the same. Tiffany wouldn't have green paint on her head from a long ago accident involving a paint box, as Annabelle did. And she would be clean and sparkly and new. Her china skin smooth and uncracked, her clothes bright, not yet faded, but otherwise, Annabelle thought she and Tiffany must look the same. When are your birthdays? Asked Annabelle.
What kind of toys do you have? Asked Bobby.
Excuse me, said Mom Funcraft, but before we answer your questions, do you think you could get us out of this box?
Goodness, no, cried Uncle Doll. We couldn't do that. What would the Palmers think?
The Palmers? Repeated Dad Funcraft. This is their house, said Annabelle. And we, my family and I, live in Kate Palmer's room. Kate is 8. She takes care of our dollhouse. I think you're going to be Nora's dolls. Nora is Kate's little sister. Annabelle glanced at Bobby and Uncle Doll. She knew what they were thinking. It was just what Annabelle was thinking. Those poor, poor Funcrafts. They have no idea what they're getting into. Nora's dolls. What a frightening thought. I hope they are strong. I hope they like farm animals. The Palmer's grandfather clock chimed then, and Uncle Doll took Annabelle's arm.
It's time to start heading back. It might take us a while to climb up the stool.
We have to go now, called Annabelle to the Funcrafts. Oh, froggies, said Tiffany. You do? Yes, but I don't think you're going to be stuck in this box for long, and as soon as you've been unpacked and set up in Nora's room, we'll come visit you. Promise? Said Tiffany. Promise, said Annabelle.
We'll bring our whole family, added Bobby.
All right, said Tiffany.
It was nice meeting you, called Mom Funcraft.
It was nice meeting you, Annabelle replied politely. Then she and Bobby and Uncle Doll scooted out of the closet, through the sitting room, and down the dark hall to Kate's room. They hoisted themselves up the last step of the stool just as the clock chimed 4:30.